We just concluded 4 wonderful presentations by the 4 dynamic individuals who had shared with us how the PMP certification had benefited their careers and their organization respectively. Now, we are moving to the highlight for this morning event, the panel session. We are about to hear from another 4 more PMP certified individuals representing various organizations on their views on PMP certification. To make this panel discussion more dynamic and interactive, we are very pleased to have someone who's very well versed in project management. Many of us in this hall were his students before and calling him master or Sivo. He has more than 25 years of industry experience, and he was one of the pioneers in the ICT industry as he was the software developer for Oracle Database Engine version 6 back in 1990. This individual has made his name in managing mega projects and successfully contributed to the completion of 5 international airport projects, including KLIA. He was the contributing editor for Project Management Institute PMI PM Network Magazine, Asia Pacific Chair for PMI IT and Pacific Interest Group. He is a qualified chartered engineer from Engineer Ireland and graduated with a degree in computer science from University of Dublin Trinity College. When he is not involved in any projects, he helps PMPs to obtain their PMP certification since 2005. As of today, as a professional PMP trainer, he has taken the lead to deliver 1/3 of the PMPs in Malaysia, which is quite a big achievement. My last check 2 days ago, he has delivered 665 PMPs, and he himself is the founder of MSc PMP Circle, who believes in continuous learning. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. S.K. Kaur to chair the panel session.
What can I say? First thing you learn in project management is called Murphy's Law. Everything is well prepared and this thing dropped. So, what can I say? Thank you very much, Junita, for the kind introductions. And this morning, when the 4 individual PMP mentions about their experience as a PMP, they quite consistently highlighted the importance of stakeholder management, right? So 4 weeks ago, when I was approached by the working committee to organize this particular event, he said, SK, would you like to chair this particular panel sessions? My response, the instinct response as a project manager was, boss, what is your expectations? The person who approached me was saying that, make the panel discussions interesting, interactive, energetic, and entertaining. Aren't you think that is something not possible, especially you are addressing to a cloud, majority of you are IT based, right? Who is not IT based? Can you show a hand? That is only the so-called minority. The majority of these people, they don't talk, they type. Right? They love to cut short the conversation. When I say, are you coming? Used to be, maybe. Last time, okay. Now they say K. Right? So it was not easy. So my job today is going to meet these 4 criteria. You know, when the boss asks you to manage a project, you say jump. Your next question is, how high? That is rule 101 for project management. You never say no to their challenges. Well, I've been given 1 hour and 15 minutes, right? In order for me to do this session to become more interactive, I'm going to divide the whole hall into 3 particular groups. Group A, Group B, and Group C. I have some questions prepared for our panelists. Whenever I say round 1 start, Team A, you have 60 seconds to pose the questions. If you don't have any representative to pose the questions, that opportunity will go to Team B. So I have a whiteboard there. That means chance given to you 1 time, you score 0. if by end of the day, each team will be given 3 chances. Maximum score is 3. Right? Worst case scenario, 0. In PMI, but PMP, we believe in what we call the reward system as well as the LAD. Remember? Right? So we probably have some kind of reward for team who are managed to able to score 3 points. Is that agreeable? Yeah. Okay, so each team must have 3. So the people who chosen the center seat, they say, I'm lucky. I will not be the 3 out of the team B. But people on the left-hand side, A team, they say, I have opportunity to pose questions, depending on what you are subscribing to. In order to do this panel discussion, I need a team, right? This team comprised of 4 individuals. The first person I'm going to call upon is someone quite well versed in the banking and finance industry. Nothing worked. Okay, we go back to the panel. He obtained his PMP back in 2011. He spent his first 15 years in his career working for a bank, quite a substantial, sizable bank. He has quite familiar faces in the local banking and financial industry. Subsequently, he moved on to join a startup, okay, dealing with e-commerce as well as the mobile gateway, payment gateway environment, and so on. And very interestingly, he has done projects in countries you probably have heard about it, but not easy to point out where is it exactly, such as Uganda, Tanzania, okay? And obviously, he also currently holding projects in Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, New Zealand, and Australia. So ladies and gentlemen, can you help me to put a warm welcome the CTO of Mobile Money, Mr. Toh Kian Wah. The next person, in fact, I know him as a friend as well. He has 25 years of experience, but he still decided to go for his PMP. And when I first met him, I said, why you still want to go for PMP? His response was, increase my self-confidence. Wow, that is interesting. With this, with his PMP, he managed to go and get his dream job. Very interestingly. He has done many international projects before, same as Mr. Toh. He went over to do projects in countries you have heard about it, but you probably say, how was that country? Which country was that? He implemented some e-government project for countries such as Rwanda, Iran, Syria, Nigeria, and so on. Right? So these are the countries you were surprised to see that we have PMP out there. But it will be interesting to see how PMP are able to practice PMP out there. Okay? Interestingly. And the last so-called significant career career highlight for his career was he was recruited to establish PMO, Project Management Office, for the government of Bahrain. Today, we are very pleased to have him. He's back to Malaysia. He's currently holding the position of Vice President for Performance Management from Agensi Inovasi Malaysia. So ladies and gentlemen, can you put your welcome hand to welcome Muhammad Radzi, Muhammad Yusoff, PMP. The next person has a total of 13 years of experience. He's the head of PMO, head of Project Management Office for a public listed company, Microlink Solution Berhad. He has a total of 13 years of experience. Very much into IT. He has done software development, customized application development, as well as what we call the packages solutions out there. And he is very experienced. He is looking for capable project manager to join him. That's a little bit of marketing for him as well, right? So, but that is only applicable if you have a PMP. That's the conditions. We will ask him, is that the conditions? So ladies and gentlemen, can you help me to welcome Jaya Ganesh from Microlink Solutions? Okay, opportunity to contribute to the so-called selection process of the panelists. Right? There are a lot of project manager, PMP, and so on. So I look around and say, okay, I have these three gentlemen plus myself. If we're going to spend 1 hour going through this conversation, talk about critical path, talk about scheduling, compression, and so on, that will become a little bit boring, right? So I say, why don't we have a so-called women representative? Yeah, I think that is fair. Otherwise, you will see half of the hall, all the ladies will say, no, no, we need to fight for, we can be a good project manager too. So with this, it's my pleasure to have someone who are quite well versed in this particular area before she turned into project management. That particular area is quality management. Okay? She was certified in multiple ISO related certifications. She's a black belt, Six Sigma black belt, not the karate black belt. And interestingly, she also worked as an auditor, right? Her type of environment is a bit different than the other three panelists, maybe to some of you as well. Her type of project environment is in research-based, right? When she worked in the basic research environment as well as applied research environment, how would project management similar or different compared to, for example, commercial-based project management, right? So with this, I'm very pleased to have the acceptance of the representative from Telecom Malaysia Research and Development Center. The Project Management Office is agreeing to have Noh Haslina Muhammad PMP to join us as a panelist. Now, one of the 4 expectations for my sponsor who say, SK, you must get your audience engaged, interactive. I got 2 questions for you. If you say type 1, you raise your hand. If I ask question 1, if you say agree, you raise your hand. If not, you have to raise your hand for type 2. Type 1 is, I start to fire the question by easy, moderate, controversial. Type 2 is controversial, moderate, easy questions, so that we can have easy lunch later on. So who vote for type 1? Easy, moderate, controversial. Okay? Okay, counted, win. I thought that is the way we handle our previous so-called exercise. No, I won't say that. Who vote for type 2? Controversial, moderate, and easy. So now, it's a half-half. What do you guys think? As a project manager, you learn many skills. One of them is called Tai Chi. You know called Tai Chi? Stakeholder management. I'm not the one going to make decisions. The audience already decided. So now, panelists. Easy, moderate, or controversial? Which type? You have an option to choose. Controversial. Earlier this morning, I have someone from IBM post a very interesting questions. I have experience. Okay, I can do everything all right. Why should I still need PMP? To me, that is a good question, but that question is not a project management question, to be honest. That question is a change management question. Are you willing to change? Okay? Are you willing to change? If you are in the PMBOK version 4, PMP, let me share with you, the PMBOK version 5 already changed. Okay, PMBOK version 5 introduced 3 months ago. If you are still thinking of to become PMP and you are not yet PMP, by 1st of August, there's a change again. Exam syllabus change. Okay, so that is a question about change management, right? So now you can go for difficult one. Okay, fine. Who said difficult one? After you get yourself PMP, you mentioned to me that it's just the beginning of frustrations. Radzi, what was those? To many of them, that was just the beginning of happiness, right? Radzi, if you answer that question, we are end for the session, right?
Okay, thank you, SK. Yeah. I'm a PMP by accident, by the way. It's just that during that time, our company was participating in this MDEC program, and we keep on shoving the juniors first to go for the exam. And the juniors pass in first attempt. And later on, after a few couple of batches, then I start to see the seniors failing. When seniors failing, then we keep on sending people. And until one day the HR manager says, okay, Radzi, you need to go for your exam. I said, what, me? I have to go for exam after 20 years of doing project? And then anyway, more like chicken up actually. And then, so I took the exam. And, well, it is very trying, my experience. And but most importantly is after 20 years of doing IT development, project management, you think you have everything. And but when you start to take the courses, the classes to make yourself prepared, this is where you start to see, hey, hang on a second, if I were doing my own style after my experience, I had not experienced, this is not the way I answer it. I tried the first attempt, most of it failed. I got most of the answers wrong, and it's just that you have to learn to unlearn, and so that's one. And then what has changed is that self-esteem has changed. You know that you are associating yourself with a group. Usually project manager. If you are engineer, you're architect, that's an association. But project managers, and then, okay, this is where you start to associate yourself. And you talk to the same lingo, same kind of experience. Probably most of the things that you study, you try to apply with all the frustration. Yeah. After coming, my experience, after, when you hit the last button, on the exam keyboard, and after a good 20 seconds calculating, that was the longest 20 seconds of my whole life. I was sitting, the exam was 4 hours, and I did not even move an inch for 4 hours. Every question, you know what, the stress is really like 20 years failing? That's not good. I don't want to walk out the room failing. And then number two is really a promise to the wife. After spending hours and hours reading, neglecting her, you want to go home with the happy news. So that after that 20 seconds, it says, welcome, PMP. And you just don't know whether, is that pass or what? And after that, you start to answer those the question like, going forward, kind of question, more like for statistics. But anyway, so coming out from the room, I feel statistics goes up, and then come to the office, yes, I want to practice what I've learned. The 5 stages, the 9 knowledge areas, all these procurement methods, whatnot. And we doing at the same time, we doing project for clients. And that's where the frustration comes in. You so believe in that, and then to apply, I say, why is this so simple? I mean, this is the way to apply this, but why is that people forcing not to follow those? And that's really all the while the frustration, even till now. And a simple thing like terms. We have closing terms. And then my boss keep on insisting, no, that's completing course, completing phase. To me, completing means usually is success. Closing can be success or failure. Project can be success or failure. But because maybe his mind is all projects is success project. That's the thing. So
thank you very much, Radzi.
The beginning of a process.
Yes. I can see the way Radzi responded to this question was filled with emotional. He is very frustrated. I can see that. Right? I can see that. Okay, moving on. There was a question out there just now. I think I want to take it to Mr. To, as well as Ganesh. Some people say PMP certification only give you the theory aspects of the project management. Okay, but this group of people call themselves street smart project managers. And they say that my practical street smart experience is the one can help me to survive in the project environment, right? So, I mean, Mr. To, by the time you took your PMP, you already have 25 years of street smart experience, right? What motivates you still go for these PMP certifications? Mr. To, please.
Okay, I need to tell you some truth of it, okay? The first thing is why I took up PMP. Of course, there's some personal reason. I'll explain to you why. But at the time when I took up PMP, it just before my 50th birthday, okay? So you can see how old I am. A lot of people taking PMP because they are looking for new height, okay? I'm taking PMP because I'm preparing for new low. So you most probably will ask how come you are preparing for new low. The reason why I'm preparing for new low is because I was thinking after so many years of doing project management, I wanted to do something else. My interest is more on like teaching, coaching, stuff like that. But then I realized with my 25 whatever odd experience, in fact I did a lot of projects before even I take out this PMP. I've been in Indonesia, in Hong Kong. I've been, you know those days banking system. You only work from midnight, 12 a.m. That is your starting time, because that is the time when the system is down. They're going to bring down the system. Only that's the time you work. So you work until the next morning, just before the system has to be up and start running report. Then you stop. So basically, those type of work we will be doing. I'll be doing all this type of work now. Coming back to this, why taking PMP is because I prepare my new low, is because I think I want to go for more relaxed type of job profile. It's like teaching, training, maybe taking some low pay cut job, stuff like that. But eventually, I realized something not right. Even with 25, whatever experience you have, to go into a teaching profession, they say, yeah, where is your certification? Even to do that simple sharing of knowledge requires some form of certification. That's why I took up this PMP. Of course, if you use the work breakdown structure, you explain why you have to do that. Firstly, PMP. If you look at the skill, the PMP knowledge or PMP skill or project management skill, everyone agree you must have project management skills, regardless to what you do. All right, start a company, big organization, whatever not. Because project management is a form of skill, so you need to take that one. Nobody want to argue. All right, either you learn it from your bathroom, from from your seafood, from the street, from wherever. Okay, I don't think people will argue that, because you need to learn this skill either hard way, long way, whatever way. It has to find a way to learn. All right. Now, the next question, you break it down. The next question, whether you require PMP certification, that is the next question. Now, to answer the PMP, whether you need the PMP certification, I also further break down. There are two ways to look at it. One is how you look about yourself. I. If you talk about I, it's just like those people who go to American Idol. When you talk about I, everyone say I will be the next American Idol. You know what I mean? Because everyone thinks you are good, you are very good. But you go and sing in front of the judge, the Randy Jackson will say, nah, I don't think you are good enough. Then that's where you point the third finger, you use a four-letter word, you can sing that. Because people think they are damn good, but somehow someone say, hey, yeah, I don't think you're that good. Alright? Now, whether you need certification or not, if you look at it from the I perspective, of course you say, I don't need to. Why should I prove to you that I'm not better than you? Or you have so much knowledge. Even the PhD himself will come and ask you, consult you. So you think you know a lot. Alright? That is I part. But you have to look at the other perspective, is the you part. It's how people perceive about you. Sometimes it's a very realistic world. Even with my experience, I don't think I can find a job if I don't have this PMP certification, because it is a real world. It's not about you, it's about how people perceive you. So that is very important. So I end up taking this because I need that, because it's what people perceive me. Without this, like no silly job. Not a silly job. Not a silly job means people know you are not that good. Alright? Just like you know, just like you go for driving, you say you know how to drive, but people say you got driving license, no, you say don't have, cannot, then you cannot drive the car. It's not because that you don't know how to drive a car, but just because you don't have driving license. But sometimes the world is in that manner. So, well, that is.
Thank you very much, Mr. To. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, as a panel chairperson, I'm facing a tough situation here because two of the panelists who have spoken, one is right after he got PMP, that is the beginning of frustration, that is North Pole. Okay? The other guy say that right after he got his PMP, that is the beginning of his, not the new high, but the new low. So that is the South Pole already. So but a lot of us were thought that PMP is supposed to add value into our career enhancement. We can prove that we are better, right? So my question to Ganesh, who has been actively looking for people, there was a saying that PMP can help you to jump the queue for the job opportunity. How was your experience on that? You know, basically someone got no PMP, you are behind a bit. PMP, jump in front of the queue so I can talk to you. What was the experience like, Ganesh?
Hi guys, how everyone? Okay, basically when you look at PMP compared to a non-PMP, if you are comparing apple to apple, A person have a PMP having the same set of skills, B person not having a PMP having same set of skills, which one and why you will choose? Definitely they go with the certification one, right? Because that resources basically they are selling to the customer. They have to convince the customer. For example, tender. Every tender that we're going in, we need to submit the experience plus the certifications, right? That's more on convincing customer that we have set of project managers who are fully certified, who are able to manage a project successfully. That's on the PMP and non-PMP. I'm not offending the non-PMP, right? It's just that we encourage all those non-PMPs who are leading towards project manager phase should go into PMP certified. Now, question about jumping queue. End of the day, it depends on the organization criteria. If let's say that organization only hire PMPs, then non-PMPs are losing out in the game. Certain organizations, for example, Microlink itself, we don't focus that much on PMP certification. Rather, we look at skills. If we have the right attitude, right skills, we bring them in and we get them certified. That's our approach. Rather than, if we don't have an option, that's our approach basically. We go to the skills, right attitude, we bring them in, and then drive them to get certified, and then put them on the field to drive the project. And that has been successful all the while. I think most of our employees are trained by SK itself. Everyone have passed on the first attempt except for one, which did not take the training from him somewhere else.
Okay, this nothing to do with marketing, okay? It's not part of the script, definitely not part of the script. Now, interesting, so we have some frustration, someone want to talk about individual, new career, new law, and Ganesh spoke about, from a vendor perspective, if you have PMP with you, can actually help you at the time of bidding process, because your customer is going to evaluate the execution team, right? But from what I gather is that during the hiring process, right, and more important is whether do you have the right experience, skill set, as well as do you have the right attitude. That's what sum it up. Okay, so now let's move on from individuals-based question to organization levels. Now, Haslina, I understand that back in 2011, Telekom Malaysia R&D Center actually sent in a group of project managers for these PMP certifications. But can you explain to us what motivates your management to have this initiative?
We did motivated them.
Okay. So it's a bottom-up approach.
Yeah, it's bottom-up approach. Okay, Telecom TM R&D is actually a subsidiary for the Telekom Malaysia. And then our research projects, we have been running more than 10 years research projects, support our parent company. But the problem at that point of time is the assigned project manager, they did double job. I mean, on the project management and plus with the technical management as well. But because of these research projects so-called, the project managers that time favor to deliver on the technical deliverables only. So that means the project management's focus put at the second level. So back in 2007, the company was certified with the CMMI Level 3 compliance. That means the processes, the templates were established. But the problem happened that time is no enforcement, full enforcement, and also the executions. Okay, so that was the gap raised. And then because we wanted to have this kind of focus, because if you just focus to deliver the technicals only, you just lack of these project management skills, that is actually not bring any advantage to you. Therefore, in 2009, the initiative was started. Okay, until 2011, PMO was established in TMR&D, and then we wanted to distinguish the project managers from this so-called double job, PM plus TM, technical managers as well. That's why a group of people, there are around 11 people, if I'm not mistaken, were sent for this kind of certification program. And alhamdulillah, syukur, most of the project managers passed at the first attempt as well.
Thank you very much. So what Haslina had mentioned was that it was a bottom-up approach. Right? Bottom-up approach, and the employees see a gap from the ideas, policies, but the gap is actually at the enforcement or the executions, right? The enforcement executions. And she also mentioned about something very interesting, which is in line with what the previous speaker mentioned about. When you're talking about project management, right? Some of us was actually constrained to become what we call technical-based project managers, versus the PMP is supposed to be the full-blown project managers.